Hello, everybody.
Whoa, hi,
Welcome
guys.
back to the Dojocast.
Yeah.
Hope you all are doing great. I believe I have some allegations to address from last episode.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm back. Wait, did it start?
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
up. We're
Yo, what's up?
Yeah.
Yes, go on.
Yeah. Hyun, I have a question for you.
Yes, this chicken is from the last episode from the bar. I did bring it
not
over. I am
quite.
still eating it.
Not
Hey.
quite.
Why
Real
is the
quick,
chat like
the
that?
chat's messed up.
Why is the chat the way
Oh, never. I was trying to. Never mind.
No!
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I was trying to like set something up. I'm just gonna have to not do that.
You guys are so tall.
You're good.
Hang on.
Anyways.
Hyun, what is this thumbnail? What were
Yeah.
you? In what world does red on top of red look good?
In this world, dude, high five.
Hey.
That's sick.
Don't blame me for this, okay? I'm not the
here we
host.
go.
All right,
Here we
I
go.
got
Here
thrown
we
into
go.
this mess.
You didn't get
And
thrown into
literally-
it. I gave you guys several days notice that I wasn't going to make it, and then it got to the meeting day, and then y'all were like, "Yay, we don't have to do a meeting today." And then you go and blame me for telling you last minute, and then you decide to spend like less than an hour getting the episode ready, making the episode late.
Wait, so you do understand?
Wait,
Oh,
Why
I
are you
understand
mad?
very well.
Why
No,
are
it
you
wasn't
mad?
my fault because you guys had the option to do a meeting, but just because I wasn't there, you decided not to.
To be
Why are
fair,
you
if you
yelling?
know if you're gonna give us an entire week, you know what that just means the last hour.
Exactly. Exactly.
You could have gave us 8
Right?
months.
I should know by
Hey.
now. What that like every time that I need you guys to do avatars, it's always like a few hours before the episode starts.
Yup.
actually, I didn't
It's
I
like-
did it before I had to go into work.
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
matters
that was
though,
today.
what matters though is that we were there last week and you weren't. All right.
And
True.
you know what?
Right,
Another
chat?
thing,
Right,
another
chat?
thing. I'm really mad because this is probably one of the funniest backgrounds you've ever done, and I wasn't there for
Fucking
it.
good. It's so good.
I love this one. This one's so
Bro,
funny.
Yo, is that Unreal 6? That must be Unreal 6.
It's so good.
Unreal
Ugh.
Hey man,
Oh,
that's what happens when I take over production. It goes up. Like,
Sorry.
I have
I'm
noticed a
sorry.
trend that a lot of the fan favorite episodes are just when I'm not there.
I could not, for the life of me,
Yes,
do
sir.
a backwards front camera facing run, so that's what I ended up with. I was like,
Yeah.
I can't do this! The episode's in like,
my
I can't do this. This episode's in like 2 minutes. There's no chance. I can't, whatever. This is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna
Oh,
pay
you
with
should-
water.
should, really funny,
You should
though.
keep scrolling, dude.
I'm so
There's
glad you
like
didn't.
20 different backgrounds that we
There's
did.
so many.
Oh,
dude.
yeah,
There's
I saw.
So many.
Oh my god.
They were
yeah,
like a
sorry.
level. They
Then
get
you were
progressively more-
driving. You're on the
We on the
road.
highway.
Running on the highway.
Also, crazy chat placement. Also, what the heck,
Thank
Lamonia?
you.
Finally, Hatena gone. I never liked that guy. SMH.
Yo, dude, I can't believe they would say that. That's
Yo,
kind of
that's
messed up.
crazy.
And you guys
That's
are like
kinda
in a
messed up.
marathon.
Yeah, people were cutting us
Yeah.
off.
You're on the street
We're
again.
on the highway. Yep. We were.
Yeah.
You're on a
We were
river.
flying.
You're
No, we're
No,
flying.
we're
Wow.
actually flying.
Yeah, we're flying. Yeah,
You're on
there
the
you go.
ocean.
Surfing.
Walking on water.
Skiing.
Yeah.
Oh, there we're skiing.
And were you in the
Like,
back
down.
rooms at one point?
Yes.
Yeah, a couple
You were
Yeah,
in front
we're
of my
back rooms.
trailer.
yeah, I was in the way.
Yeah. We were
Oh,
in rock,
man.
paper, scissors. There we are.
You
It's
were,
canon.
you
It's canon
were.
event.
It's official. No, but I'm a little jealous that I wasn't there for that environment because that one was so funny.
It was all worth it at the end. You know what I'm saying? Because
I
rock, paper,
guess.
scissors was a bang.
Yeah,
It was a bang.
yeah. But you know what's funny? So, chat, to catch you up, last episode I wasn't there, because I was in the middle of an intense crunch to finish RPS, the collab that I just released a few hours ago, just 4 hours ago actually.
Yep.
And they decided to package the video saying that I had some allegations and that I was like, I did something wrong. And you guys did like express in like the first portion of the episode, like, hey, it's not like he's working on this thing. There's not like real allegations. I still, after the episode, several days after the episode, saw people in the Dojo Discord asking what the allegations were.
Oh my god.
What'd you say?
Oh, I didn't say anything. I think it's funny.
I would just block them. I'd immediately just block.
Yeah, if anyone asks me what the allegations are, I block them to make it look way worse.
You should have deleted all your social media.
I should have gone. No, I should have gone dark. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That would have been.
But yeah, chat. I
yeah.
finished the collab that I started 2 years ago. Can you believe it? Hopefully.
I can't believe you've done this.
Hopefully, some of you were at the premiere earlier today. I did like a 3-hour stream as well. It turned out great. I'm really happy with it. There was a peak of like I think over 200 people during the premiere, which is insane. So thank you all for those of you who were there to check it out and watch it. If you have not seen it yet, we're gonna get into a lot of spoiler territory this episode. So I'd go watch it. It is about an hour long. Just a heads up. It's a pretty lengthy collaboration. It's practically a movie with fully animated cutscenes, custom music. This is a whole lot that went on into this production, and there's a reason why it took over 2 years to make. We're going to be going into a lot of that today, so if you haven't seen it, I'd encourage you to come back to this episode later. You know, of course, the VOD will always be up once we're done. And yeah, I hope you enjoy it. But for those of you who have seen it, or you don't care about spoilers, then this episode, pardon me, is essentially just going to be a big Q&A regarding this project. I'm going to open up a question bubble for you all. And go ahead and ask away. You're welcome to ask about anything you want, but I'll be focusing more on an RPS-related questions. You can ask about the story, the characters, compiling the collab, any part of production, really. Or you can just ask any of us here whatever you want. Don't really matter. But the other three here at this table might also ask some of their own questions if they have any. So and I'm also open to sharing behind the scenes like footage and stuff. I mean, it's not really footage, but like the Premiere file, Animate files, spreadsheets, stuff like that. So I guess that said, what'd you guys think of the collab?
It was okay.
I thought it was great.
It was alright. Yeah. Okay.
No,
Well, Loonstar just wants to hurt me.
I'm just kidding. It was really good.
Can I just say something though about
You should say
the
something.
freaking?
You should actually.
I freaking hated that kid. That kid, dude.
What
The
kid?
dumbest kid I've
Oh,
ever.
Clover.
Dumbest main
Yeah.
character I've. Yeah, Clover. Whoever that green
Clover.
stick with the leaf.
Yeah.
Bro, that's the
Yo.
dumbest kid I've ever witnessed in my entire life, dude.
Yo, she was really like, I'm here to gamble. Okay.
You gotta get this kid a gambling sponsorship. They're gonna gamble all their money.
Yo,
away.
I know
Next-
Kalshi's like setting their eyes on
Yeah,
her.
next collab, DraftKings is on your email list.
Literally, Kalshi's flooding your like business email right now.
But yeah, I think story was nice. Nice little cutscenes. I did see there's some crazy music syncs at times, which is kind of which I
that's
noticed.
my style.
Yeah, and the ending. My favorite part was definitely the ending fight. Very nice, good
Yes. Oh my
choreography.
Which
Oh,
one?
yes,
The
right.
daydreamed one or the real one?
The real one.
Oh wow. I personally, this is my favorite, just choreograph wise.
Oh no, both. But yeah, this part too.
Okay. Yeah, Rojaki.
Yeah.
Rojaki, I told him okay. So Rojaki was actually the first person to watch the entire collab And this was like quite a number of months ago at this point, I think. Because I had asked him if he could choreograph this sequence, because I wanted to give him an opportunity to do something. I don't think he's done something like this before, at least not to this scale.
Yeah.
And I wanted him to like pull references from previous parts. So I'm not going to point out all of them, but I'll give a couple pointers. You'll notice there's some references to other people's entries. I'm going to point out this one right here. This was from Cyclone's entry, where they were fighting the entity that was doing rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah.
And they do that. So that was directly
Bunch
pulled
of
from
skizzers.
there. We have this from Vegemite's entry, the really well full body animated one with the girl with the ponytails or the pigtails.
Oh yeah.
It's like a shot-to-shot reference of that, and then her even reaching up to like the rod. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff like that. The last one I'll point out is the paper airplane from Okidox's part, the footnote entry.
Oh yeah.
There's just a bunch of fun little stuff like that in there, and he did a fantastic job doing that. Pardon me.
Okidox's part was so good. It was really.
Oh yeah, I mean his part.
They went pretty
Let's be real. It was just an excuse to flex his understanding of hands, of how to draw hands, and that makes makes me kind of angry. I'm not gonna lie.
It was kind of insane.
Rojaki is probably one of the most underrated animators I've ever seen because he doesn't post like anywhere, so no one was really aware of what he's capable of. But he's awesome at everything he does.
Someone asked, when did Rojaki make that beautiful and kind of sexy part? I have a funny story about.
I know the story.
Watching you rock, paper, scissors parts. Yeah. Hang on. I need to try and find
you're talking about his stupid part?
Yeah, the sexy one.
Oh.
Yeah, so my friend Rojaki. Oh wow, I look so weird. What's wrong with me?
You look like an egg.
I don't know.
Gotta turn off the FOV.
But I really wanted to push Rojaki to participate in the collab because I knew that it was going to be good. And so I made the mistake of telling him that no matter what he animated, I would have to accept it. And so that was the context for his entry. And so let me try and pull it up because I haven't seen my reaction in a while, but I know it was like the most clipped moment in the stream. Because I went into it blind. I had no idea what to expect out of his entry. Oh boy, yeah, here we go.
Oh no, oh no.
I know what you...
Let me try and skip to when it's playing. Oh yeah,
I
here we
remember
go.
this part.
Okay,
shush. So hype.
Here we go. Oh my god!
He collapsed.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
No, this is probably the most heinous part in the entire game.
So he took full advantage of that opportunity, and I have to respect it. But I think it's good because I think a lot of people are going to end up timestamping that entry, which means more viewer interaction, which means YouTube's going to push it out to more people, and
they're gonna be like WTF and then put the timestamp.
Yeah. Oh man. No, it was good. Rojaki's entry is ridiculous, but I love it. I don't know. Was there a question I was trying to answer?
What was the question again?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking. Well, maybe there wasn't, but let me see if I have any. Oh, I can't help but notice in the RPS collab that the double barrel shotgun at the end scene was shot 3 times. Was that an animation error? Oh, yeah, I guess it was. Because it was shot it was shot twice in the beginning. Let me go back here.
Oh, it had the phantom barrel.
It did. See, that's very common in my collabs though, where I just use an infinite number of ammo in any gun because I don't care. Who wants to animate a reload?
I didn't even notice that.
I
the thing
do.
that
I do.
noticed- the thing that I noticed about the shotgun was that it was the most inaccurate thing I've ever seen, dude.
What do you mean?
Did he actually shoot someone? Did he actually shoot? Did it actually?
He
hit?
tried. He tried.
Yeah. Who misses point blank with a shotgun like that,
Okay.
dude?
And then, well, he
Yeah,
is like
shotguns are the
60
biggest
years
bullet
old,
ever.
to be fair. And there's that shot. So I guess, yeah, it was shot
That
3
was good,
times, which
yeah.
isn't how it works.
So, realistically, their brains would have been blown out.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, they're invading his property, so, you know, he kind of has the right. And they're showing intent to harm and potentially murder.
Yeah, how old is Cut?
I'd say he's around his 60s, 50s, 60s, somewhere around there.
Damn, he's uncle.
Yeah, I guess.
He's not uncle, he's grandpa. What the
He's
hell?
grandpa,
mean?
yeah,
He's
he's grandpa age.
Besides, like the gray hair, he just looked like 20s. I don't know, 30s.
Really?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought he was like 30s, 40s.
Oh,
I think
wow.
it's just
With
because
the
there's no
gray
wrinkles
hair.
on him.
Yeah.
I guess,
Yeah.
yeah. No, in my head, he's
He's
much
also
older.
very athletic.
He is. I don't want to get too much into him as a character, because I don't want to like say anything that people are going to take as
Say
canon,
it all.
and then I change it later. So, but I do
you
intend
want,
on
dude.
using. So the thing about the story, I am pretty much putting together my own, I guess, universe. In a way, I'm pretty much using collabs as a means to tell more stories as I start to become a better story writer and storyteller. And I thought that it would be cool to try and implement a story with a good lesson, good themes, and good characters into a collab. But I also want to continue using them in future collaborations. So not every collab I'm going to host is going to be a part of this world, but some of the larger productions are. And you'll notice there are some other characters. I'll go back to scene 0A. Yeah, hang on. Get a better shot of them. Yeah, there's these two guys. I want to turn this music down a little bit. This is a bit much. Hold on. Oop, there we go. Yeah, so this is Guy 1 is his canon name. He's actually the red stick figure from Big Ol' Sink Joint. And the entire purpose that I brought him in here is just to preface the idea that characters from other collaborations having been done previous to this one can still be a part of this world. And then Steven is made original for this collaboration. Steven is this guy, the purple geometric puppet looking guy. He is there to... Yeah, he is the... He wasn't that bad. But he is there to represent the variety of styles that you can get in this world, as it's kind of like an Amazing World of Gumball situation, where kind of every style that you can imagine can exist in this world. And so he's just there to show the difference of, like, I mean, just look at the 3 of these. They're all so fundamentally different, yet they're all sitting at a table playing poker with each other. Like, that's the vibe you get from this world. It's like everyone kind of gets, like, it's normal. This is a normal kind of thing. And even the stick figures, there's different kinds of stick figures. As Clover has, like, shading and facial details and hair. And this guy's just as basic gets for stick figures. So.
I think at the two baddies.
Yeah. They were supposed to take on other styles, but at this stage of production, I figured it would be easier for my wonderful team of animators that helped work on this project. It'd be easier for them to just kind of use the same style that they did for Cut. Cut being the old guy. Here we have Brick, who's holding the gun, and Hoodlum, who's holding the brick. Yeah.
Yo, he's holding a brick.
Yeah.
I don't know the conversation leading up to this. Look, man, it's gonna get dicey in there. So,
Bro has a
can we bring
hoodie.
any weapons? What do you mean?
Bro has a hoodie
Bring
that
any
just has
weapons?
a
I didn't know
one
we were
on
gonna
it.
do this. Well, I have my gun. What?
Oh my god,
Can
yeah.
bring
I was
anything? No?
told this one was miserable to animate, and I feel really bad for making
Oh,
them
it
do
would
that.
be.
Yeah,
I was
didn't
gonna
really think about
say,
it.
because the thing that kind of, I mean, I guess only animators see this, but when I saw the 2 bad guys, I'm like, there's no way they made them this detailed. That's insane. No wonder it took so freaking long, dude.
Dude, I was like,
Yeah,
first
I
thought.
mean, I think it's fair to say this ending scene here that we're watching, this is what took the longest time to do. The animation for the Sticks and Steven definitely took a very short amount of time, but I think they were working on the final animation alone for this for like 2 months. It was rough. I want to give a huge shout out to Crafted, Crazy Master, and Hammond for really knocking out the last portion of this animation, because they were putting in a lot of time, and they did a great job on it. They took a lot of liberties, like in the hang on, there's in the kind of flat perspective shot. None of like the bookshelf and the filing cabinet weren't really supposed to move this much. The bookshelf wasn't really supposed to move at all, but they just took it upon themselves to add so many details like that. And they did such a good job. Yeah, and then this chair, I wish I made a 3D model of it, but Crafted spent so many days, maybe weeks, just doing these chairs.
Did he redraw every frame?
Yeah, those are
pretty
redraws.
much.
At least some of them.
Oh
at least
my god.
Yeah.
I would have just quit. I would have actually just quit.
I wish I had just made a 3D model for them to use, but no, they painstakingly, in every shot that they interact with chairs, which is a lot, they had to redraw it so many times, and I feel really bad about it. But the chair kind of got a reputation in production. Yeah. Nah, this ending sequence is incredible, though. They knocked it out of the park.
It's pretty good.
But yes.
We got some questions for
Yeah, we do. Rojaki asks, what's your favorite poop flavor?
Oh.
Paprika.
Rojaki. Paprika?
Green.
Let's see. DJ asks, hey, Tena, the RPS collab was amazing. One of my questions is, how did you make Clover a character? Was it inspired by some other collab? And also, will your future collabs follow this collab universe? So I kind of answered the second half of that, being yes, they will continue to follow some of these characters. There might be old ones returning that I decide retroactively would fit in the stories, or I might completely make new ones. But yeah, Clover is brand new to this collab as well. This is her debut. To be honest, I didn't know what she would look like when I wrote the script, and only really, even during the storyboard, she didn't really have a design. She just had a very basic, I guess, sketch to imply where she was supposed to be. And it was until I was doing the concept art to start working on the animatics that I kind of took the time to figure out her design. It didn't really take that long. I don't remember exactly what inspired it. It's just more so my new stick figure style with the shading, and the face is obviously my stuff. The hair, I just wanted to try that sort of stuff out. I don't know. A lot of it is just kind of liberties I took of my own style. Fun fact, she was supposed to only have like 2 leaves as on her hair as decoration, and then turns out there's another member of the community who has a character that looks a lot like Clover that I wasn't aware of.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
It looked as if I just ripped them off. So I think I might have changed her color a little bit, and then I added a third one to separate them a bit. But shout out to Bapple for being so chill about me accidentally ripping off their character design.
Damn.
No, they're chill about it.
Do you have a picture of their character?
Yeah, let me try and find it. Hang on. I'm gonna switch us back to couch so I can scroll Twitter, because that's a dangerous place.
Why?
Damn, this is the table, dude. This is the table.
This is.
Yep, this is the table. I had it repaired, so there's no like shotgun damage.
Oh, so you're in the universe.
How am I supposed to find Bapple on Twitter? There's other people named Bapple. Oh.
Let's find the Bapple-shaped one.
Hang on, let me go
Also,
back.
you guys, I know I don't have a hat this episode. I ate it accidentally while I was eating chicken. Okay, that's where it went.
Listen, that's not on him, guys. We should, dude. Lunsar, it was your turn to watch him, man. When he's eating, you know you can't just leave him by himself eating, bro.
H.
Sorry, dude. Sorry about your hat.
Oh, his account is suspended.
Damn. Well,
What did he do? Okay, anyways, look in live
I don't
chat.
know.
I put his Dojo Pit Fights part. He used his character.
I see.
okay.
Yes, they're a lighter shade of green, and they have the two. Okay, we're good. Yeah,
Damn, we almost
they
got
look
shut
fairly
down.
similar. It's just green with the two
That
things sticking out
doesn't.
of
I
their head.
mean,
But you know, Clover looks
They got
different
triangles.
enough. Yeah. But like they
I
look
would say those
fairly
are
similar
leaves.
as a silhouette. But
That's true.
I just took the liberty to make her just a little bit more unique, visually separated. So, but yeah, I like her design. It was just kind of modeled after what I wanted. There wasn't really any particular inspiration.
Yeah. It's like a stick figure, you know.
Yeah. At the end.
I have a
why did-
question.
Okay, you go ahead.
Oh, actually, no. You started that. Finish that.
Okay. Chaos asks, at the end, why did Clover run away with the cut guy while those two guys were still there? Because she wanted to get away. She clearly wasn't holding up well for herself in a fight. And she felt she's already built up this, the way that I see it, she's already kind of built up this relationship with Cut where she feels a little more safe. I mean, he's the one who grabbed her and pulled her behind the table. So she feels, more protected around him. All of her efforts to fight back are more accidental than anything. You could call it luck, potentially. And at this point, he saw that Steven, this guy, and Guy 1... Oh, wait, hang on. There we go. Yeah, Steven and the other guy kind of had the situation taken care of. So he felt that it was okay to leave them to take care of it on their own. So,
Yeah,
I mean, it
Steven
goes
just
with
freaking
trust.
kills those two guys.
Yeah, he's a big guy. He's a
I
big
mean,
guy.
He just took care of business.
Did Cut get his name because that's what scissors do in rock paper scissors?
That is one reason you could give it, but I
Okay.
don't feel like answering the rest of it yet.
Did he have a nice
Okay.
haircut? And then he's like, they call him Cut because he's like your cut.
Yes,
G.
exactly that.
Hey guys, there you have it. It's canon.
Boom!
I mean,
I'm
you
calling
can
TMZ
see
right now. I'm selling.
you
this
can see a
information.
slight nod to his name in his design with his the cuts in his eyebrow, but
Yeah.
no, there is a reason that I chose for this to be his name, but to explain that would explain more of his character that I haven't exactly fleshed out yet. But there is a reason outside of rock, paper, scissors. So, everything has a reason. That's something I've painstakingly learned about writing a story and then visualizing it. Is every single shot has to have a reason. Every line of dialogue has to have a reason. And if you don't have a reason for something, it doesn't need to be there.
True.
See, so what was your question?
Oh, okay. So my question is, I've noticed there were some pretty high tier guest animators that I did not expect at all to be in this collab. So I'm wondering, did you invite them personally, or did they just want to make a part? Because there's that.
Man.
I mean, there was multiple people that I noticed that were very, very popular on in the online
Don't
space.
mind me.
What?
Just pulling up my Trello list that has everything that I was that I've been responsible
Oh
for.
god, here we go, dude.
And over here you'll see all of the extra entries that I had to reach out to people to have them make. Now, before I get fully into that, I need to explain why I needed more animators, because I already had so many entries, right? Why don't I just use what animators I had? So I have to explain quite a bit here in order to justify why I had to get more animators, especially as many as I did. I think I got over 30 extra animators for this. So the way that my compilation style is heavily based on sync. If you know my history, that's not very surprising. I find it very satisfying. There's a lot of really fun entries that go really well with the music. I think Bisty Roko is probably one of my favorites. Let me turn their volume up just to give you an example of what I'm talking about. So I'm going to raise the volume up a bit. Might be a little loud, but hang on. Right. So here we go. There you go. And even that shotcut.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Dude, I love this person's part.
Yeah, I love this entry
The style,
so much.
really cool.
Yeah. It ends up not syncing at the end, but like, oh my god. But it leaves such an impression, right? Like it makes it stick in your mind a whole lot more. Because my compilation style is so focused on sync, I have to make sure that, like, I review all the entries, of course, and I'm meticulously picking what kind of songs would fit for the vast majority of those entries so I can fit a theme around them. Sometimes it doesn't work 100% because you only have so much control with all the entries that you get, but I digress.
Wait,
when
there was a part. There was a part where like they say something and then the music says the same word. Like, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking, because that was a custom entry, so they had the liberty of doing that creatively.
Okay. I was gonna say, like, that's insane. That was the most insane sync of it.
Though there have been stuff like that in previous collabs of mine where I'm able to take advantage of that and sync it up, but that takes a lot of foresight.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, you'll even see here I had a little cut in their entry to kind of force a sync. So I didn't end up doing that to a few entries. I think in segment 2 probably was one of the most egregious ones. You can see a lot of cuts in their defeat. Yeah, Reimu 0.
Yeah.
You'll notice there's a lot of cuts in their entry, and if you really pay attention to the music here, you'll see why. Pay attention to this guy's side. There's a lot of sync. And like a lot of that sync is very subtle. Like there's the obvious cuts in the beginning. Like 1, 2, 3. They're all synced up. And then even these camera movements are all synced up to the music. And that was all intentionally, adjusted to fit it better. I still try to leave people's entries as untouched as possible because, they built it with a specific vision and pacing in mind. So I try not to mess with it too much, but if it will enhance the entry and make their entry more memorable for the larger audience, I think it's worth it. So I do take that liberty sometimes. But for the most part, I leave everyone's entries alone. But yeah, you'll see
Just
a lot
hard
of
cuts or
cuts.
Do you do
sometimes
like rate stretching?
Sometimes, like here, I'll do a frame hold if I really want something to sync up, like this. So that's synced up to the beat of the music. But originally, it looked more like, like this. So he just got shot quicker, pretty much. But I wanted it to hold. And so you'll actually notice in this entry, it's a little sloppy. There's a constant camera zoom, and you'll see that zoom pause during that frame hold. Boom. But I'm pretty sure even like this was slowed down. No, it wasn't.
Yeah. That's what I would do a rate stretch at that point.
Yeah. I mean, I think I might have every now and then, but I do rely on frame holds a lot because you can get away with it quite a bit at the time. There's a lot of entries where I do a frame hold at the end of their entry so that way we can hold and give viewers just enough time to maybe look at what they rolled. But the format of the collab is in such a way that you don't have to pay attention. And you can just kind of get the formula that one person is defeated and then the other person is defeated. And they just kind of go back and forth for the whole collab. So you don't really need to pay attention. But, there are holds just so that you can have enough time to understand that they've made a decision. But anyway, back to the point. Because my compilation style makes me sync things, it was really difficult with this format to sync. It's like place an entry in the beginning and then go forward and then place another entry after that, because then I lose a lot of control over the audio. instead what I did, and this is stupid and crazy, but I compiled every track backwards. Meaning I started at the end of the song, tried to find an entry that would be good to end on, and then I would work my way backwards to find any other entries that would sync up well. And then once I have all of those, once I would have all of those placed down, then I would find entries that were long enough to fit in between them and patch them all together. And so, but also because of that, you know, there's only a limited number of entries that when I got to my, you know, probably like 9th, 10th, or 11th track. Oh, hi, Sarah. Look at that.
Wait, it's Sarah. Oh my god, I want
those hips will be remembered for eons.
For a long time. Yep.
The curves.
You know, I eventually got to a point where I ran out of entries that would fit in between some of them. So there are some entries that were made completely custom to fill in those gaps, because I could have tried to like really mess with someone's entry, but that would be adjusting it in such a way that it would be ruining their original intent. And I want to try not to mess with that as much as I reasonably can. The other place where I would have people make custom entries would be the intros and outro entries of every track. So in the first entry, for example, obviously Clover is here just so that it can blend in the concept into the rest of the collaboration. But then, say, the ending here, you'll notice 𝗘𝗱𝗿𝗍𝗍 makes an intro, they make one play, but you don't ever get to see their defeat. And I had plenty of entries listed as maybe, meaning that they might be implemented into the collab if I could make it work. But I didn't want to use their entries just to throw away most of their work, because that felt more insulting than just not including their entry in the collab. Me personally, that some other people might have a different opinion of that, but I felt it to be insulting if I were to show someone who might have gotten in barely, but I didn't show all of the work that they put into it. You know, it felt wrong. So I felt that it was more ethical to have people make custom entries for these instances. And because I didn't think of that beforehand, it was something that I had to figure out in retrospect and retroactively add all of those entries. So I had made an entire spreadsheet. Let me get that spreadsheet up too, because this thing is crazy, just for organizing the thing. This is one of the spreadsheets that I have. This is for the cutscenes.
Oh
and
my
then we have
god!
a segment just for sound effects, backgrounds, assets, much shorter, and then custom entries here. So I had MP4s of all of the entries that were missing animation, and then I would reach out to friends, and you know, this process took maybe a whole year just to do all of this.
Damn!
Yeah, because I mean, there's a lot of people. There's 34 custom entries here.
You said there was like 2 people?
There's 33. Yeah, there's only 2 people. No. You have Stealth, RoboRichie, 𝗘𝗱𝗍𝗍𝗍, Ranchesko, Oxab, Yuishizaki, Max Neaton, Adri, Akimbis, Zane Little, Fox Little, I can go on and on and on. But if you see someone entering an entry or ending an entry, then it's likely custom made. And then over here we have Ranchesko, who this entry was finished last month.
The butt guy on the internet, dude.
The butt guy. It's funny because I retweeted one of his recent animations. Yeah, Rans. I retweeted one of his recent animations, and I was like, "Holy! Like, this is insane understanding of foreshortening." And then he messaged me on Twitter, which is a feature I never fucking use. And he was just like, "Oh my god, this means so much coming from you." And I was like, "Wait, you know about me?" And then I took that opportunity to invite him into the collab. Yeah.
Dude, I love Rans.
This was the most random part, like seeing the butt guy.
Yeah, because like this does not match the energy of the music at all, but I think that's so funny. I mean, listen to this. It's so intense. Yeah. And he had the music, so he knew what he was doing.
I don't even know how to say that name.
I think it's like Ranchesko.
I think it's Ranchesko. Or something.
Koshko. I just call him Rance. Everyone calls him Rance because it's easy. But yeah.
Sounds like ranch. It's like ranch. Sorry.
Oh, there is also. I want to show Brody's part because it's funny. This is the MP4 that he gave me. This is what he gave me.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Like that.
Well.
He knew what he was doing. He knew what he was doing.
That's one way to get into a Dojo collab again.
Yeah. So, but yeah. Oh, and then there's also the intermission entries. So these were a product of me not properly preparing for the variety of which people would animate, like how they would execute their entries, because I wanted to keep it open-ended, but it was still fairly complex in a way that like the format couldn't really be messed with. Because like I couldn't put another entry next to this one, because you know, when they only get defeated, they don't come back, and I wanted to showcase this person's entire entry, you know, all the stuff that they made for it. So the only way to do that was to, I think, okay, the reason that I had this especially as an intermission is because I couldn't see this ending, which is one of my favorite endings to an entry. I couldn't see that being mixed with music. It had to live on its own because the audio here is so funny. I'm sorry, I just want to play it again.
Wait, play it again?
It's very faintly hear a scream, but it's really funny. But like, I can't put that into an actual part, like into a track, because it's not going to mix well with the music, and the punchline's going to be lost. So there's a lot of instances where they had to become intermission entries, and so then I had like KJ, for example, fill in the gaps so that he could be defeated, and then someone else could come in, and they could take over, and then they could defeat Haben, and then we get to see Haben's ending. So there's so many specific instances that created the necessity to have custom entries, but there just ended up being so many of them. So shout out to everyone who I reached out to and made an entry. Loft Studios is probably the most shocking one, because I asked him if he wanted to do it, and I was like, this dude is stop motion. Loft. There's no way that he's gonna have time to make an entry. And then so he got it. He got it back to me within 24 hours.
Damn!
Crazy.
Yeah, I love Loft.
Yeah, much love to Loft. So
that's
cool.
so cool.
Yeah.
So good.
But yeah. So unfortunately, if you were like, oh, I wanted to see that person's ending, there was never an ending. It was, those parts were made out of obligation. My bad. That was from poor planning on my part. This entire collaboration was okay. I'm sorry. My mind's all over the place. But this collab was such a mess that I'm writing a dojo blog about it, and the blog is called "How Not to Host a Collab." Because there's so much that just went wrong. But obviously the end result turned out really good, and I'm still really happy with it. But there's a lot of stuff that I could have done better. So, but eventually you will see that blog post.
Did we even address the title of this episode of why it almost didn't happen? Do we already go to that?
No, I figured we'd get there. Pardon me. Yeah, I mean, this collab started pre-production in May of 2024 and just released today. So it took about 26 months to finish.
Damn!
And yeah.
Dude,
Originally,
I don't even think I'm 26 months old. What the heck, dude?
Yeah, I don't think I'm 26 months old.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But the original concept for this collab was just to be these tracks, and then that would be it. It wasn't supposed to be this complicated.
Power creep.
And it was scope creep is what it's called. Where you start out with a concept, and then I have this philosophy of mine where every project I want to make it impossible to top myself. I want to make it feel like it's possible to top myself the next time. And I've definitely done that this time, but I kind of went overboard. I went very overboard. I was way too ambitious. I kept having ideas and being like, yes, that would improve the quality of this collab. It's going to make the experience in the end a whole lot better for the vast majority of the audience. I wasn't taking into account how much long it was going to take. I just had the idea, knew that it would improve the quality, and so I wanted to implement it. And I did that too much, especially with the cutscenes. The cutscenes is where things got really out of hand. That's not a cutscene. We'll get to that in a minute, I guess.
You.
Yeah. But these cutscenes extended production by a year, I think, somewhere around there. Maybe over that, actually, because I think I had the idea for the cutscenes 8 months after I started production. So,
oh my God.
but I like retroactively decided to include cutscenes. So there originally wasn't going to be a story, and then I wanted there to be a story, so I had to shoehorn in a story. And I think it turned out really well, but you can tell that it was shoehorned in by some of the cutscenes being very filler. I think this one as well. There's just not a whole lot going on in this cutscene. It just establishes that something happened, and they're moving on to the next round. There was no key important detail.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's this, I think 2 or 3 of those. So in an ideal world, I would not have had to create 2 or 3 more intermissions, but yeah, I wanted every track to have an intermission so that way it's consistent, it was predictable, people can expect a reward for sitting through every track. But yeah, that's it was because of the cutscenes though that things started to slow down as things got ambitious, and I started to lose motivation because of how ambitious it was. So I was very on and off about this project for a long time, and on top of that, compiling the actual entries was a nightmare. This is the most complex collaboration I've ever hosted. I don't think it's shocking to say that. I think everyone kind of expected that. But I'm never doing another rock, paper, scissors collab because this was hell. Just the base concept. Because it was concept first, practicality second. And collabs are supposed to thrive on simplicity. This was conceptually simple, but in execution was one of the most complicated things I've ever had to edit. And it was miserable. So I even put off compiling the collab because you see how many tracks there are, how many entries I accepted? There were so many and so much like space to figure out and finagle with, yeah. So that alone also caused a lot of demotivation. But arguably what caused me to nearly quit was the intro track. Was the very first track. Now a little more context as well.
Really?
Yeah. One of my original ambitious goals for RPS is I had daydreamed about hosting a collab where every single track is custom made for it, so I don't have to work around, you know, royalty-free record labels or buying licenses or subscriptions to licensing platforms, stuff like that. And you know, tiptoeing around stuff that might eventually be copyrighted and stuff like that. I wanted to avoid that by also making it an opportunity for other musicians to collaborate as well. It would be like me featuring a bunch of new original music that I can point a bunch of people towards. So I felt there was a monetizationable reason for me to have custom music throughout the whole thing, but also an artistic reason to have custom music. That eventually did not quite follow through, though there are 3 original tracks in this collab, and that's the first 3 featured tracks. The first one is composed by myself. The second one is by 𝗘樋hes and Zakio. I used their instrumental version. You can find their lyric version on their channel. There's also a playlist in the RPS video description that has every single track in here. And then the third track was by Vainz, and they all made, 𝗘樋and Vainz made custom music. There was one other person. They ended up dropping out because they didn't feel like it. They weren't motivated, which is, hey, fine. That's totally fair. But mine, I wanted to challenge myself to make a song that I would be proud to put in one of my own collabs, because I am very picky when it comes to my taste in music, and especially what gets put into my collabs. And you know, over the last few years, I've become very picky about a collab's musical identity, which is a topic that we touched on in length during the behind-the-scenes episode for the Stone collab, because that one was very difficult to figure out. This one, I didn't really know what the musical identity was supposed to be, so you saw me experiment with a lot of different kinds of tracks. I don't think there was a consistent style, maybe a somewhat consistent energy, but there were a lot of different kinds of tracks in this one that weren't really cohesive with one another. And I don't think that's bad. It was more important in something like the Stone collab, where it had to kind of more emotionally match the theme. But there were so many expectations that I had put up for myself with making myself do the first featured track. And I had made music before, but I'm more of a hobbyist. Like, I'm making an album that I've talked about before, but I'm not like, that's my lowest priority project because it's just a me thing. Like, I'm not making it for anyone but myself. And I wanted to force myself to make a music that I would be proud enough of to put on my collab as like the poster track. Like, it's the first featured track that you hear in the collab. And for the longest time, let me pull up the original version of this track. It was terrible. Horrible. Yeah, original music. I think. Fuck. I think it's coin toss.
Oh yeah, there's a coin toss.
Yeah. Let me pull up the master one. Might be allowed to start. My apologies. Oh boy. Yeah. So if you had joined like my streams and you've heard this version, this is what was there for the longest time. And it doesn't sound bad, but this is just the instrumental version. But I mean, yeah. And like those are all temporary vocals, so technically they would have been more polished in the final edit. But I felt like for that one specifically, the lyrics felt insulting to the audience because it was very direct with what it was about. There was no nuance, and that's something I have struggled with a bit in my songwriting. Is creating nuance in my lyrics that aren't just explicitly because I want to make you think about what you're listening to. I want you to make your own interpretation and your own lessons away from it. I don't want to tell you what you're supposed to think. So it felt insulting, and so I ended up growing hateful of that track. And then for a bit I was like, maybe I just didn't like compose it right enough, so let me try and recompose it. And I still hated it, and then I rewrote it entirely, and then I composed it, didn't like it, recomposed it again, didn't like it, and then I rewrote it, and then I recomposed it. And there were so many different iterations of this track. Wow. That and Loonstar was there for it. And 1VC one day I was just like, I don't think I could do it. I think I just feel like I suck. I don't think it's good enough. I don't think I'm good enough. There was a lot of self-doubt. And I had quit on this track, and I had tried to find another song that would have worked in its place, but there was no song that I could find that matched the same BPM as well as the same song structure. So I was already kind of locked into it because I had already compiled the first track. And so when I got to that point, I was like, this is so difficult, and I don't want to show people something I'm not proud of. So I had almost dropped the whole project just because of this first track. But every time that I felt like giving up on this project, I just kept reminding myself that there are people who put in a lot of their own time to participate in something that I made. And if I don't follow through with that, I'll never forgive myself for that. Because I've just thrown their work away, effectively. They can still upload it there on their own, of course, but it's not going to be as impactful. Because, like, this collab is supposed to act as... Like, it has a lot of purposes. And one of its main purposes for every collaboration is to act as promotional material for every artist. It's to introduce you to new people and show viewers someone that they might eventually become a big fan of because they just like their entry in this one silly collab about rock, paper, scissors. So I felt like I would be failing all the people who already put in all that time and effort if I had just quit. But I did get very close multiple times, but the closest was probably because of this track. And in the end, I eventually landed on something that I was happy with, but God, it was rough getting there.
Dang. So it was the music that almost ended up doing it then.
Yeah, not what you would think.
It was the compilation at one point, it was the cutscenes at another point, and it was the first track at another point. So I'd almost quit roughly 3 times. So, but I didn't. Wow. And I'm glad I didn't, because this is the thing I'm going to be proud of for a very long time. One day I'll look back on this and I'll cringe, but you know.
Didn't Loonstar go through like a similar phase too when you were compiling your Free Fall collab, Loonstar? I think I recall you kind of having like a down period.
I mean, for me, it was more of just motivation. I don't think I would have ever stopped hosting it for like any reason. I just like, I feel like there's like a pattern with me in like a lot of my projects is that like there's always like a period, because I have very like strong issues with commitment to certain things.
Oh yeah.
So I just tend to take like really long and extended breaks from stuff that I'm working on, and sometimes I'll come back to it, sometimes I won't. But I don't
Breaks
think
are
it's the
good,
same
though.
level as this. Yeah, I don't think this is definitely like a whole other level though. Like I think
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna just stop my project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's good to acknowledge that, though. Like, if you know that about yourself, you know that about your process, acknowledging that and accepting that and being okay with that is big.
Yeah.
I will add. I was talking with Shab about this yesterday, but the cutscenes for Free Fall 3 and Beach Day both were core inspirations for why I wanted to do a story in this collab in the first place.
Cutscenes. Yeah.
cutscenes.
That's cool.
It's because of those that all of this happened in the first place, which it
Yay!
could be a good thing, could be a bad thing, depending on how you look at it. But as a finished product, I think it was ultimately positive. So
It's always nice.
thank
to
you for
inspire.
making Free Fall, because the cutscenes were
Yes.
really fun. Okay, but something I do want to talk about. I worry that cutscenes and collaborations, they're very easy to get wrong, and it's very easy to make them feel disruptive to the collaboration, to a point where people feel like skipping them instead, which then defeats the purpose of the cutscenes. Sure, there's going to be some animation purists who will force themselves to watch it. That doesn't mean they'll particularly enjoy it, and it doesn't mean it'll necessarily mesh well with the collab. You can also try and give it context, but it's not always going to work. A lot of people are just going to skip through them. I know in this collab, even now, there's going to be a lot of people who just skip through it. But I think what I have done is better because it creates a big payoff every time. Because I raise the state. There's a reason to keep watching them and the reason to stay invested. So on your first viewing, at the very least, I spend a good chunk of the intro. Like, this is a long time before I get to the collaboration, because people are here for this. They're not here for this. This is a surprise to them. So I have to spend a lot of time convincing them that they should stay for this. So, like, the music and the visuals were very particularly structured in a way that I believe would try to convince as many people to stay and watch it as possible. But even now, I probably didn't convince everybody, and they just wanted to skip until the actual collab, because that's what they're there for. But, pardon me.
I almost disagree with that, because I feel like if we have a collab, especially a long collab that's anywhere past like the 10-minute mark, I think you almost have to have some parts of downtime, whether it be cutscenes or a slower section of the collab that has like a calmer bit before picking back up again. Because I don't know, in my opinion, if a collab is just constant, high action all the time, it gets a bit numbing in a sense. And I think it's good to have some contrasting. I don't even know what to call it.
I could see
like
where you're
high
coming
points and low
from.
points,
Yeah, I see where you're coming from. 100%.
Yeah.
But I do still disagree, because I think we're looking at this from the perspective of people who normally consume collaborations like this. And I think the vast majority of the casual audience, of which I'm trying to reach out to here, they're much more likely to skip to the parts that, keep that, what's the word? I guess attention, I guess. Like to keep your stimuli active, I guess. But people are always looking for a reason to look away. So it's something especially that I've learned when working for Alan, is if there's any dull moment in a video, people are going to think, is this a good place to stop? And that's where you need to catch them. You need to catch them and tell them, no, this is why you should keep watching. So you're constantly convincing your viewers to keep watching. And while, of course, the community that we've built this around is going to watch the whole thing, I know that, that's not the same for people outside of this community. And for me to want this to be successful so that I can reasonably keep doing collabs like this to the scale that I am, I need to appeal to a larger audience, which means I need to constantly be convincing them to stay. And because I know that they're not necessarily watching for the cutscenes, I need to make them care. So if every single time that I enter a cutscene, I'm not introducing vital information that's convincing them to stay, then they're very likely going to click away. And there are some cutscenes that, you know, not a lot happens, but I'm hopeful that, you know, they don't care and they just want to continue watching because it's fun.
You gotta dangle
anyway.
the keys.
Yeah.
You gotta keep dangling the keys. Hey, look here. Hey, look at wow.
Arguably, the collab itself, regardless of the cutscenes, should be entertaining enough on its own that I shouldn't have to convince them to return.
Yeah.
But it is natural that when you reach like a point where an ad could pop up, that's a big opportunity for them to leave.
Yeah, but I mean, I'll say though, the decision to actually have voice acting in the cutscene was probably one of the very smart decisions. I think,
that was
collab, because
by far the best thing that I could have done.
Oh yeah, because I mean, I can imagine it without any voice acting, and that would instantly become way more dull in a sense.
Yeah,
but the voice acting actually kept my attention, like 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was a very conscious decision that I had made, and I'm glad that you brought this up because I have a lot of thoughts about voice acting within the community. I was anxious to try it out because I believe famously voice acting has not really been done very well in this community so far. Yeah. It is very, and I don't blame anyone for trying, because most of the time that you do get voice acting in stick figure animation, it's likely done by the animators themselves and their friends, because that's who they have contact with. That's who they can reach. There are some people who are trying to be voice actors as well, but they're not experienced. And even if you do have experienced voice actors, because I have seen stick figure animations that have experienced voice actors and it's still poorly done, the reason is because there's a lack of explicit direction. And that is the most important thing that I had applied in this process. So I knew that I could either rely on text, or I could take on the daunting challenge that is doing voice acting right in a stick figure community. And I knew that one was much harder, but that would wield the best results. So I went for voice acting. Also helps that I really enjoy doing lip sync animation, but that was secondary. That was a booyah, I guess. A bonus.
What the hell is wrong with you?
A booyah.
I know. Most animators hate lip sync, but I find it one of the most relaxing things to ever do. But anyway, that's besides the point. So to explain my process for voice acting and why I believe this turned out amazing in comparison to what most of this community has produced is because of how I directed the voice actors. So to start off, I tried to source people that, I didn't just try to get good voice actors. I tried to get people that I already knew. And fortunately, being the collab guy, I already have a lot of, I network easy. I know a lot of people in a lot of different circles. But fortunately enough, in this community, there's still artists who are also voice actors, because there is a little bit of overlap there in the creative aspiration I have found. So Cut was voiced by someone we've actually had on this podcast before, my friend Best Frog. He has voiced Cut in the ending of Stuntman 3. This is the same character, by the way. But he voiced Cut in Stuntman 3. So I had him return. And I gave him a lot more direction this time. And Clover was voiced by Diango, another beloved member of the community.
Diango!
She's tilted more towards illustration, and she's become a VTuber. I don't believe she interacts with the community as much anymore, but I reached out to see if she would be interested in it, and she was down for it. So was Cam. They were both very gracious about the idea, but scheduling both of them together was an issue. They were both busy. They both constantly had stuff going on that would conflict with each other's schedules. And I found that to be important. Like, you hear when people do table reads, that means that it's all of these voice actors in the same place to perform on the same script, so it feels a lot more natural. And you invite them to also improv a bit so that it can feel even more natural. You have to allow the voice actors to own that character it becomes less of mine and it's become more of theirs. Clover is less of my character because Diango has to own Clover in a way. She has to feel like she's made decisions about what this character is like that I don't even know about, and I just have to make it work. And I think that is incredibly vital, but I couldn't get both of them in the same call to do a table read kind of script or recording. I had written a script, and writing that was incredibly difficult because I've never written natural sounding dialogue, and natural dialogue is incredibly hard to pull off. But what I did was I storyboarded every single cutscene. Even though I didn't really need to because I would be making the animatics and I could have just skipped straight to animatic, I storyboarded everything, and then I recorded every single line myself in the way that I thought they should be performed. And then I lined that up with the storyboard, and I sent that to both Cam and Diango, so that way they could get a great understanding of how it's supposed to feel, what their character's supposed to generally sound like, and how they're supposed to interact with the other characters. And then
Wait a second.
That's called scratch
So you're
audio.
telling me there's a version of this collab that has you playing as Clover.
Yes, let me find it. Let me find it for you.
Yeah. I remember hearing about this.
Hang on, scratch audio.
Now, do you actually
boards.
pitch your voice up a little bit? So you
Nope,
sound like Clover?
it's all just me. I'm trying to load the video right now.
He's like, I'm here to gamble.
But this is a real thing that happens in real productions. Oh boy, yeah. Here we go.
Yo, what the...
Yeah.
Just panting.
Yeah. You even hear my fan in the background. Okay, let me just cut
At this
forward a
point,
bit.
kid, I've been saving it. Very well, $1,000.
Honestly, you could have voice act just freaking the cut guy.
Best 2 out of 3.
But I'd already established a voice actor because in Stuntman 3 I voice myself, and I can't voice myself and another character because then it would be obvious. So I had Cam voice the other guy in Stuntman 3, and now he's kind of locked into the position.
That's
And
true.
I could recast, but people would notice, and I always hate it when people recast.
Yeah.
Are you $10,000? Are you crazy? I didn't come here for pocket change. Best 3 out of 5. 10,000 isn't chump change. When we're done, it will be.
Yeah, there you go. But yes, there is an entire render, and I might upload that to my Patreon if you are interested.
Oh.
True.
So
Yeah.
give him money.
Yes,
Money.
yes. Yeah, there's so yeah, there is an entire render where every voice is just me, and I think that's funny. But that's called scratch audio. That is something that is actually normally done, and it is for this exact purpose, where it helps the animators and voice actors best understand the delivery and the intention of each scene in every interaction. So once I had that, and I gave that to them, and they watched it, I would then be able to schedule a time with them separately, because I couldn't get them together, and then say I would be in a call with Diango, I would be able to give her feedback, and it would allow us to do different takes and adjust on the fly, but I'd also play as the other person, so that way they can still feel like they have a natural dialogue, a natural back and forth with them. Because if I just, I feel like what happens a lot of the time in this community with voice acting is people write a script, they ask a friend of theirs, hey, can you voice this character? They give them the lines, they get the lines back, and then they just work with it. It needs to be a lot more involved than that. You need to be working directly with the voice actor, because there's so much nuance in line delivery that you don't anticipate for until it's too late. Anyway, I'm talking a lot. I feel bad, but it's kind of the point.
Yeah, you're good.
Should I go through some questions?
Yes, please do.
Wait. Here's one by Cutie. If you were to start from the beginning, would you produce RPS differently?
Absolutely. I did almost everything wrong in this process, I think. But I did learn how to do it right because of it. So I think even though I did a lot wrong and I made a lot of mistakes on the way, it's important because you learn from your failures. And so going forward, while it is still ambitious, I do intend on doing fully animated cutscenes in some of my future collaborations. Not all of them. I want to make that very clear. Sometimes I just want to make a fun little collab to shit out, like the Stone collab or Doja's Got Talent. Those are just fun, genuinely.
Yeah.
But like the next large-scale collab, I'm going to be hosting next summer. So give me like 9 to 10 months to prepare that one. Sorry, everyone who wanted to participate in it. But I need time after this one. This one was huge.
Just host it. Oh my god.
No, but yeah, I will be taking a lot of the lessons from this collaboration and applying it to the next one. I'm coming into it knowing that there's going to be a story, which is a huge one because in RPS I retroactively added it.
Yeah.
You can also kind of tell because there's 2 intermissions in a way. There's the intermission after the track ends, which is just 2 people's entries next to each other with no music, and then there's the cutscene, which acts as another intermission. So that was a byproduct of me. It was partially a byproduct of me adding cutscenes after the fact. So now I'm able to structure it a lot better. I've learned that if I were to do rock, paper, scissors as a concept again, which I will never do because it was hell, it needs to be a joint. It should not have been an application. It should not have been an entry-based collaboration where people fill out a template and then submit something. Because I really failed to realize at the time that collabs not only thrive on simplicity, but that also goes for participation. Like, the concept can be simple, of course, and that goes a long way, but people need to be able to have a lot of freedom. They can't be restricted down by a specific number of frames per every action, because at that point you might as well just be working with them specifically, and that lowers the chances of things going wrong. So the only reason I wanted it to be a large public collaboration where people could submit entries is because I wanted as many people to join as possible. And that's not necessarily a good thing. I think for this concept, I should have done a joint, meaning one person would start, they'd hand it off to another person, and then they'd pass it back and forth until one of them's done, and then you can find someone else. That's how it should have gone. It's not how it went, and that was definitely that was the biggest thing that I did wrong, was just the method of compilation, the method of hosting. Yeah. I think that's all I have to say.
So you think like
what if you did a hybrid where
yeah.
It was just a joint between 2 people, and they just did one cluster of one battle of rock paper scissors, and then you know what I mean. Like then it doesn't have to be like a pass the file type joint. You could literally have them. I
guess that's not that's not as interesting though. You know, that's like I feel like that's not as dynamic as it could be. And maybe this is me in the admittedly dangerous philosophy of I need to make it impossible to top, because I could have done that, but then anyone else could have done that. No one could have done what I did here. I think that's why I wanted it to be done this way, because no one. I mean, yeah. I love the idea of a back and forth that alternates between animators. Like you see one person get defeated, and then immediately after you see another person get defeated. But like you're never say like I'll entertain your idea. This is how I see it going. You get 2 people like right here, say Jade Studios and Hyun, and we see Jade's defeat, but then we don't see Hyun's defeat because we need to move on to the next entry.
Right.
That feels disappointing, because what if I wanted to see Hyun's entry? We do still get a little bit of that because we don't see the last person get defeated, and we don't see a victory animation of the first person that gets defeated. But that would have been it would have been that, but much more if I had went with that kind of formula. So having it be dynamic in a way where one person dies and then a new person comes in, and then the original person dies, and then a new person comes in, and then the original, yada, yada, yada. You keep going like that. It just feels a lot more engaging and a lot more challenging and a lot more entertaining.
Yeah. There's something about, I don't know, I feel like there could have been there could have been like a way to maybe have the results a little bit ambiguous, and that would have kind of made it a little bit more interesting, because I think the format right now, you get to showcase a lot of animators, but it kind of defeats the whole purpose of the actual rock paper scissors game, which is like a game of chance, right? So like people weren't really guessing who's going to win or lose, because that was already predetermined. It was just a simple back and forth.
Right.
So I'm wondering if there was a way we could have done it where it was a little bit ambiguous, so people are kind of left guessing between each game, you know?
I think if I were to do this again, I would aim something more like that, because especially if it were a joint, that would be much more possible. You'd have a whole lot more control. And I had brainstormed ways to make it so that like it's a best 2 out of 3 and then it builds on itself, but by the time that I had this many entries, the entries alone were making it about 40 minutes long. Doing that would also extend the duration of every entry. I don't know. I think I decided on making it predictable, because I wanted people to not have to pay attention to what each person rolled, like if they chose rock, paper, or scissors. I wanted it to be fairly predictable, and the excitement would come from the stakes that kept being raised during the cutscenes. But obviously the cutscenes came in later, so that was more like a happy byproduct of that decision. But for these, I think it was relatively important to do a back and forth, but I don't know. I could be wrong. I think that's still a valid critique. If you're coming into it as a viewer expecting to try and pay attention to who rolled what, or see some sort of dynamic actions and animations based on that concept of not knowing who's going to win, you know, that could have been disappointing for the animators or for the viewer if it's just really predictable. So it is a valid critique, but I'm still happy with the decision that I made. But if I were to hypothetically do a sequel, I might try and pull it towards something more unpredictable, since I would do it as a joint and I would therefore have more control.
Yeah, because I'm kind of just brainstorming. I'm wondering, before it starts, would there be like a raffle or something, like a randomizer, and then it assigns you to be a winner or loser and what hand you play, and the results are kind of determined that way, maybe.
I think it would have to be up to the animators, because I think that's the level of creative control that you can give them, and the more creative control that you can give someone, the better. I don't want to have to... I think one of the biggest things I did wrong in the template especially is I restricted the animators too much. They had to be restricted for the format to work, but that also resulted in them feeling like it was more of a chore to complete.
True.
Yeah, I don't know. There's definitely a lot of other ways that I could have tackled this, but I mean, at the end of the day, this is the result that we got, and I don't know if I'm going to do it again. Good point, though. I think while you're looking for something, I want to add something that I also didn't really expect, and it was due to, I guess, the template and how much work there was expected out of each animator. I did find myself fairly disappointed by a lot of participants' defeat animations. I tried to make it clear to the animators that the point of this collab was to be focused on the defeat animation. Like, that's where you shine, and the rest of it is just to build up to get to that point. But that
is true.
But there is still so much work that you need to do to get to the point where you can do the defeat animation. Unless you do the defeat first, then you know it could be a lot easier. But what most people did, and I think there was a month or two to finish everyone's entries. There was also a fake deadline, but I'll talk about that more on the blog post. But fake deadlines are an interesting thing. Yeah.
I love fake deadline.
Yeah, so I'll get more into that on the blog post, but we use them a lot more than you think. Anyway,
psychological.
Yeah. I'll get more into the reasons in the blog, but I think what happened was most animators would work from the beginning to the end, and by the time that they got to the end, there either wasn't enough time or they were burnt out from the project. Because most people see participating in a collaboration as a break from their own projects or just a fun, quick little thing to do. This one was not quick to do. This was very involved, and trying to make it operate at a large scale caused a lot of restrictions that probably made it even less fun. On top of the duration of how much they had to do. The reason Stuntman did so well and got so many incredible and different entries is because it could be like 1 second long or it could be 30 seconds long. And it was really up to you how many entries you wanted to do as well. There was so much freedom to the Stuntman format that is why it's so successful. The format itself is so freeing. It's so fun. It's quick to do. And if you want it to be more complicated, it can be. This collaboration did not allow that level of freedom. It was very restrictive, and I had failed to realize that. I think I was really attached to the idea of rock, paper, scissors as a concept that I didn't stop to think if it would actually logistically work as a collab. Anyway.
I see. Somebody is asking if you're going to show the magma art from the premiere stream.
I can, yeah. Why not?
I mean, I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it either.
Don't have the link. Hang on, I think I have to pull it up on Magma. I don't have the link for it anymore.
The magma.
Magma. Yeah, people did a lot of fan art of Clover. It was fun.
Ooh.
Yes. All right, here we
go. New community OC unlocked.
Yeah. I am excited. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't excited to see more Clover fan art. But yeah, there's one. I don't think this was it. This isn't it.
No, that was not it. That was a stage.
This was this is a stage one that we did where people called me thick and sexy, and I didn't like that.
Oh, I don't remember that.
They did.
What?
I was there, and I don't remember that.
It was on screen.
That's crazy, because whenever I'm in a freaking magma, they just piss on me, dude. Like, I just don't understand.
Okay, here's the actual one.
Oh,
I say. Oh, I see.
Yeah. Yeah, so there was good art, and then someone just drew these guys on top of it.
Well, that's just great.
I thought this was funny.
Oh, that's nice.
Cute.
A common misconception is that people think the clovers are a part of her head. They're not. They're just decorative. She just thinks they look cute.
Well, wait.
Are you serious?
Yes.
So she's not a grass type.
So she's not like a grass.
No, she's not.
What a larp!
What?
Oh my god.
Well, she thought it looked cute. It doesn't need to be more complicated than that.
That's so boring. Just like. So she's just being performative.
Well, no, I mean, I guess kinda.
She's not a plant!
Well, so I wanted Clover to be as I usually try and make my characters have superpowers or special abilities. I wanted this story, this concept, to be much more grounded in reality, because it is very real, and it makes it a lot more relatable. And I think that was proven when during the premiere you would see the live chat whenever she would continue to make worse and worse gambles. The chat would be yelling at her, just like, "No, don't fucking do that! You just stop it! You don't have that money."
And they don't even question it. I'm like, you guys are in like an underground shithole.
Yeah.
Are you just like yeah, we both definitely on hand have $100,000.
Yeah.
Easy. We don't even have to question. Clearly.
Cool.
Whoa.
Yeah. No, they did so much here, and there's so many pages as well. So here's the second page. I want to point to what Rojaki did, the guy who made the butt entry.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. Ignore the one
wow.
ignore the one with my sensor. Pages are the good one.
That is a crazy sensor.
There's also Ramjet, which looks sick, and then someone added poop coming out of his butt.
That's probably chair.
So that was cool.
Of course.
More Clover fan art. So is it bad luck, Clover? Good shit. Ksymyks Katiana fan art. Young boy. Anyway. No, there's a lot of good stuff here. Is there any other questions while I keep going through these?
Let me see.
Or do you guys have questions?
What's your favorite?
What's my favorite food?
I did have a question, but it'll come back.
Parts.
Oh. I really shouldn't pick favorites. I think I was talking about this for the Rojaki actually, but I think in every track there is one entry that sticks out among the rest of them. But I think it will be different for everybody. For me, just to give a few examples, I think the standout entry in this track is Max's entry at the end. Because, I mean, look at it. I think, personally, in track 2 is Vegemite's entry. It stands out quite a bit. Is that in this one? No, that might be in track 3, actually.
Vegemite.
Where is that? Where is that? Okay, wait, hang on. Oh, it's track 4. I'm stupid.
Dude, some of these animators were actually just insane. Yeah. And their parts were so clean, too.
Yeah, this is the highlight entry of this track.
Oh, yeah. I remember this one. Yeah, this was...
Personally. Let's see, this one... Oh, yeah. It's this one, but not because of its animation, but because holy fucking shit. What is this? It sticks in your mind. Yeah, thick bread.
I was so confused looking at this part. I was like, what?
But you know, it's so impressionable. It's so every time that I show someone this, they all vocally respond to this.
What is the target audience?
Yeah. It's always. I was like, is that bread with a Mewtwo build? What is going on?
Exactly. I remember when I started hosting this, and you know, when you're in the middle of hosting it, people are sending entries and they're making their entries. It's common for people to ask you questions if they can get away with something, or if they can do something, if they can't do something. The first question I got for RPS, and I remember it very explicitly because it was from Conte, because they sent me a screenshot of this character, and they were like, "Hey, is it considered NSFW if I use this character?" And I was like, I guess not. Like, you don't see anything explicitly inappropriate. It's just kind of really thick.
Okay. We got to go to Conte's social media to see if their entire feed is just thick bread people. Because there's no way this is the first time they're animating this, right?
Well, apparently this character was the character is owned by a person named Thaup, which is one character away from being really suspicious. Anyway, yeah, I'd say that's
there's a whole nother world out there.
I would say this is my favorite entry, but it's the standout entry. It's the one that sticks with you the most, and I think it's going to be different for everybody. And this one, let's see who it might be. Oh yeah, it's Jeer at the end. I mean, this is insane for Stick Node's animation.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this dude with the wrapped hands.
Yeah, I mean,
I love this.
Crazy.
I love this.
So well done. And I think gray on gray wasn't the best decision, but they made it still visually clear. Like, I'm not squinting to figure out where he is.
I will say,
it's still well done.
I noted that there was a common theme that showed up somehow, and maybe it wasn't that many times. Maybe my brain just picked up on it, but it was that like flying backwards and then rolling, like in that scene there, where he's just flying back and tumbling. I saw that a few different times in a couple different parts.
Yeah,
it just stuck out to my brain for some. I definitely couldn't tell you the parts or anything, but yeah, there was a tumbling theme for somehow.
I think it's just because it's a fun thing to animate, and it kind of comes naturally to the prompt. Yeah. The thing that I noticed is that everybody explodes.
Yeah, everyone's exploding. That's why.
Yeah, I was a little frustrated with that initially because I was like, I want people to be original and creative, but everyone's just exploding. So, but I think it eventually turned out fun because it's fun to notice. Like, I think Neon in the premiere chat they had a counter for how many people exploded.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Lux was asking. Oh, they wanted to be credited for this background, I think, because I think they drew this background.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention. Yeah, Lux drew this background that you're watching right now. Because Lux was also one of the main background artists for this collab.
Yay!
And a lot of the cutscenes, yeah, especially this scene, they're all done by Lux. And they actually, I want to give them another shout out because they made a really entertaining video that I wanna show y'all. They made a video about all the backgrounds that they made, which, you know, is...
really?
You know, I had assumed it would just be like a series of time lapses, and while I was correct, they did it in a very fun and entertaining way, where they explained it as if it was like they took you on a story.
Oh, wow.
So, and they added their own little character and the messages that we had. It was really fun to watch.
I like it a lot.
Heavily recommend you all go check it out.
Wow. Documentary of an artist.
Yeah, and they do show a lot of speed paints.
Wow, that is cool. Dude, I love seeing
the
process.
Great job.
Yeah, that's really cool. I like that.
Freaking chair and everything.
Yep.
God.
Yeah.
Damn.
Big shout out to Lux. Pardon me. They did a great job.
Yeah, they did a great job.
Voila. Yep. And then there's me being a boss. Alright, I'll go back to this while you look for more questions, or if y'all have any other questions.
Someone's asked for later collabs. Will you have a dedicated production team like planned before, rather than talking and going over things by lazy?
I think so. I do need to preface that all of the people who helped me out were all volunteering. I don't have the budget and the money to pay everyone for their time, so they were all very generous with the time that they gave me. That's not ideal, and I'll admit it, of course. I would much prefer to pay everybody, and when I can pay everyone for their time, that's when I feel like I can build a proper team and give a lot of like revision notes. There were a lot of instances in this collab where things were just kind of good enough in my eyes, and then I would make adjustments myself because I didn't feel like I had the right to ask them to fix so many things unless I could not fix it myself.
Yes.
So and this is why there was a big Patreon push in the video, and I guess I'll extend that here, but I'm not going to yap about it. If you care, you'll look into it. I hate begging for money, so I try to make it as entertaining as possible. But there's a new tier on my Patreon where you can get rewards, physical rewards. And if that appeals to you, you can check it out. But it's stuff like that that will allow me to hire people, background artists, animators. It will allow me to pay voice actors. Right now, everyone's just helping me out because, you know, I'd like to think I'm friends with them. Or they're just people who wanted to, you know, it's well known that I help Alan Becker at a higher level of production. So I think some of them also see it as a means to get kind of industry experience, which is fair. But I would rather be paying people, and in the next one, if I can't pay people, I'd rather do most of the work on my own. This one was just so big that I had to have help in order to get it done. Because if I didn't have help, this would take me another 2 or 3 years, for sure. And there's still a lot that I decided to do on my own, such as this entire ending scene. I did not do the final animation for Clover. I did not cut at all except for his mouth. I animated his mouth, but nothing else about him. I did the key poses for Clover, and then I think Novamations did the in-between animation for him. And I believe Boxy did all of cut except for the lip sync. And then I actually took it upon myself to learn Blender just so I could do the background, because I didn't want to ask another person to help me because I felt bad. So I know there are some people. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot wrong with it, especially when we get to the car. Yeah, you'll see there's a lot of like noise on the render for some reason, and the the outlines on the Cadillac are very not clean. They're very messy. I could have spent a lot more time looking into it and how to make it look good, but I had already sunk in so much time into this scene that I just kind of wanted to be done. And there reached a point during the crunch where I was like, we're nearing 2 years of production, and the guilt was weighing on me because, again, there's people who spent a lot of time making their entries. And they were, by the time that this collab released, it no longer properly represents them as animators. Because what is being shown is 2 years old, and a lot of them, if not most of them, have likely far improved from what is shown in this video. So I have failed them on that part, and that has been eating away at me for the last year. Is that guilt, knowing that I'm not properly representing these people anymore. So there is that level where I allowed myself to cut back on quality of some things because I didn't want it to go on any longer than it already had. But anyway, yeah. But to answer your question, no, go ahead.
Oh no, dude, Bobo was like, "Hatena, how could you?"
I'm sorry. No, I do legitimately feel bad about it. I had actually I recorded a okay, I've lost a lot of sleep because of this project. This is getting on a much more real note. This has been such a harm to me mentally and physically. I've sacrificed a lot to get this project done, and a large part of it is just because of the passion that I have for it, but I've lost time that I could have spent with friends and family because I've decided to pursue this instead. There's been a lot of mental stress on completing, like I've said, the guilt that's been eating away at me for a long time. It got to a point where I had, I have the second channel where I kind of use it as like a therapeutic source where I could just kind of vent about things. I had recorded a very serious video kind of talking about my stresses and worries about this collab. And then I looked at it the next morning. I was like, this is really depressing. I don't want to post this.
Damn.
So there is a second channel video that you will never get to see because it was really sad. But yeah, I have very much so slaved away at this. I've had 2 full-time jobs. My first full-time job being with Alan, and then my second is just working on this. But yeah, I've lost a lot in the process of this collab, and regretfully, I probably will continue to lose a lot in future projects because it's just the way that I am. So I wouldn't recommend anyone live the life that I do. I don't treat myself well.
Yeah, brother.
Yeah, got a little wheel there.
The way I see it is the body is a consumable, and you must use it before you lose it, right?
Yeah.
So do with it what you love, not what is required or what is necessary, but what you love.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. There was I think a year or 2 ago now, I had to go through all of my current projects and just decide to cut some off. And I've talked about it in a previous episode, just because I am conscious of my mortality. And there's not enough time in the world for me to do everything that I want to do, unfortunately. Because I'm very ambitious, and I like to have a lot of hats and get my foot in a lot of doors. But there's some things that I value more than others, and if I'm working on so many things, I can't finish the things I value more. And, I still want to make more of these videos, and I have a lot of stories that I want to tell in the way that I want to tell them. But it's going to take a lot of work and probably more relative harm to complete them. So, yeah, I wouldn't recommend anyone live like I do. I don't want people to idolize me because I do not live a healthy life. I have, at this point, accepted the idea that I'm not going to have a relationship because the one real relationship I have had fell apart because I wasn't willing to treat it like a relationship. And I cared about my work more than her. And I do regret that. But I do value this work more than a relationship because I want to tell these stories.
You and me both, brother. You and me both. Tap me up. Tap me.
Thank you for breaking the tension. Oh my god. I was
I'm gonna be so honest. I was zoning out really, really hard.
Yeah.
No,
I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. We needed
I've
it.
been so
We
tired
really needed
today.
it.
For like 10-ish, maybe 15 years to do all the things that I've done, the vast majority of the things I did starting at about 10 o'clock at night. Meaning, like, I would start my day and I wouldn't finish until like 4:30, 3 to 4:30 in the morning, right? But the only way I was able to keep everything else is I still had to pretend that I slept throughout that entire period. So the rest of my life started at like 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning, you know, whether it be a dad or a husband or going to work or whatever I needed to do, I would still do that. I would just sacrifice sleep. I would start my day at 10:30 at night after everyone else went to bed and do my nighttime sleep revenge workday between 10 o'clock and 4 in the morning, and then get up with everyone else the next, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning the next day. And it just destroys your body. It is very, very, very damaging.
Yeah, there was about a week ago now, actually, while you guys were doing the last Dojocast, I had gotten about 4 hours of sleep on that week's Thursday night, and I stayed up for, I think, 43 hours straight.
Yeah.
And it was.
I remember that.
Yeah, I believe it.
It was partially because there was a lot of work to do, but it was also because I was so stressed I couldn't sleep.
Yeah. Have we all been through that in this table? I'm pretty sure we've all been through that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if I've stayed up for that long. I feel like I've always like.
I didn't
feel
want
like,
to.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever stayed up for like longer than like. I don't even know if I've ever skipped a night's sleep. I probably have. I just don't remember. But
Dude, I used to try and experiment with as many different forms of like sleep and work combos that I could possibly come up with. So like there's this method that only like a small percentage of people on Earth can do, and I think I actually got this from Turquoise from like years and years and years ago. It's essentially where you never actually take a full night's rest, but you like work in 4-hour blocks and then an hour sleep. 4-hour blocks, hour sleep. So you never actually ever have to go to bed, but it's just like you crank out work, grind for 4 hours, take an hour nap, wake up, do it again, and you just perpetually do that on an infinite scale. And you allegedly are supposed to get it. I couldn't do it. I worked for like a week like that, and I was like, I can't do this. I need to try something else. And so the next thing I tried to do was I tried to work 24 hours blocks. So basically it's like, I'm like, look, I'm telling everyone I know I don't exist for it was like Monday and Wednesday. I'm gonna do my entire 40-hour work week in 2 days. And I'm gonna work 24 hours on Monday, and then Tuesday is recovery, and then 24 hours on Wednesday, and then 24 hours recovery. And then I can have a 3-day weekend. Essentially. Wow. And then I'm like, then at that point, the rest, like you can have me for the rest of the week and I get a 3-day weekend. I did that for like a couple months, and it was like impossible because you get to the point where it's just not worth it, because anything past like 12 hours, you're not really going to be super productive, and you're just kind of like sliding into the final hours. And then it was just horrendous on the body. I couldn't do it.
Yeah. I can imagine.
But I was like, the idea was cool. Like in concept, it was like, oh, I can work for 2 days and I'm done. But it just, everything spills over into the rest of the week. It didn't. In the end, I'm not saving any time.
Yeah, for me, it's just a lot of insomnia. I do have like I wake up at 8 o'clock and then I continue working until about 5 p.m. for Alan. Is usually my 5 days a week, 8 hours a day, an hour in between for lunch. But I almost never get like 6 hours of sleep. I usually get like 4 to 5 if I'm lucky. But insomnia is pretty bad. I rely on melatonin to try and get me to sleep, and even that is like a 50-50. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But a lot of the times, I'm in my head a lot. So I just kind of stay up through the tiredness because I can't get myself in a state where I can sleep. It's fun. All right, let's move on to other questions. let's say something more fun and interesting.
I got 8 hours of sleep. That's fun.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's great, man.
Yeah, don't be like Estella, you guys. Just don't be like
please
Estella.
don't be like me. Do not idolize me.
It's like just like stop doing that.
I think.
Yeah. Why is Atena venting? Can we get back to RPS? Okay.
This goes to
Shut
show
up. Who said
about
that?
you.
It's JoJo. You know, that's actually something I can talk about. I can talk about JoJo.
Oh
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Wait,
wait, what? Wait, let me
Some hidden lore.
pull something up. Sequences, cutscenes, JoJo music only. So JoJo was gracious enough to do the score for all of the cutscenes, which is all of this. I'm gonna raise the volume.
No way!
Yes, this is all custom,
That's
all
all JoJo?
JoJo, all JoJo.
Damn, JoJo!
He snapped.
But yeah, so there was a lot that went on behind the scenes to get the scores just right, especially this intro, because it's so important to nail the energy, because again, you're spending the entire intro trying to convince people to stay. Not even just the intro, but the entire video, but this is the most important part. Because if you can convince people to stay, so that way they could see the payoff, then you've got them for likely most of the video. Hang on, Lux is asking me to show scene 5. The scene with 5 million. Oh, okay, hang on. So that's scene 10. Okay. Here we go. Oh yeah, this one's good.
Oh, I did this one.
Oh. So good.
Was this the first time this guy is doing music for you guys?
For me, yes, and to the scale, yes, absolutely. They had never tackled anything to this scale, and it took it took so much back and forth to get the intro just right. Honestly, we should have started with a later scene that was less important to nail, because then he would have understood more of what I was looking for, because I was being very picky about it, admittedly. Because again, it's crucial to get the intro right. You have to nail it to convince anyone to stay.
Yeah, that's the thing. Because knowing you, I know how picky you can be,
Oh,
especially
yeah.
for music.
Oh yeah.
So like, oh man, I feel that too, because I'm also kind of picky when it comes to music, especially when it comes to like my own projects.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't even know how you can trust anyone to just start a score and just go back and forth with the score like that, because it's really hard to even explain what you're looking for accurately until you actually just get into it, you know.
Very fair. I think I could have come with reference from like other movies or TV shows that have pulled off similar sounding things, but I am trying to find a video that I'm having trouble finding. Give me 1 second. Oh, it might be in renders. Hang on. Premiere, renders, track renders? No. Extra renders. Here it is. Here it is.
Oh.
Okay. So this is what I sent to Sthom originally. Sthom was going to be helping me with the music. And then eventually he built a great foundation that I was actually able to point JoJo towards to kind of use as a foundation. And Sthom ended up leaving the project because he wasn't confident, and also he didn't have the library of instruments that was required for this. So, obviously nothing against him. I still appreciate him, and he gave us a great foundation to work off of. But you'll see, I very accurately describe what the scene requires musically. Okay, there we go. Now you can see everything. But I can't see the timeline now. Great. Sorry, one sec. Yeah, panic stringed instruments to help convey the rush and adrenaline Clover is having, with basic rock drums to reflect the energy of the speed. All right, and then let's listen to that back. So that took a lot of back and forth to get right. The percussion especially.
Oh, man.
Yeah, music should take a break here, which he does. He nails it. And then boom. Like, oh my god, that's probably my favorite musical point in this whole thing, is this dull moment in the music, and then the boom. Listen to this.
Yeah.
Listening.
Oh. It tells you she's in danger. It so implicitly tells you she's in danger. She should not be here. And you'll notice that Clover has her own instrument, and Cut has his own instrument. To imply, it's supposed to fill you with the kind of feeling that you should be feeling within their perspective, within Clover's perspective. More importantly, you get this deep cello whenever you see Clover, whenever he talks, right? And what does this ominous tone of a cello make you feel? It makes you feel like you're in danger, like something bad is about to happen. And then whenever you cut to Clover, you notice just a little bit of lighter strings coming in, still mostly cello right here, and then light violin strums. So they're both based on stringed instruments, but Clover owns more of a violin aesthetic, and her perspective on Cut is more of a cello aesthetic. Because she's carrying this kind of light stringed feel, if that makes sense, but Cut's is much more deep and ominous, and it shakes the room. Anyway, I think stuff like this it's important to communicate with your score musician. And I think eventually it got to a point where JoJo could kind of tell what I wanted, to a point where at a certain point he would send me progress and I would just be like, yep, no notes. And he was just nailing it.
Wow.
Yeah, I think I gave him like a few more notes, but like he even took a lot of liberties. There is a motif of Clover's mom in the flashback sequence that you can also see whenever Cut alludes to the idea of doing this because a loved one's in trouble, and then Cut's mom's motif plays. So you can look for that on your own. I don't want to pull it up for you, but it's fun. JoJo did a phenomenal job. So
that is very cool. I mean, it was well worth it, even if there's the risk of working with someone that you've never worked before. Because in a custom score, you can only pull this off in a custom score, like having specific instruments for different characters and all those little subtleties, compared to just a music that you find on Audio Jungle.
Yeah, I mean, I absolutely could have done this, but it would not have had the same impact.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, focus on deep cello strings as Cut monologues with bits of a light violin to represent Clover's hope, trying to peek through, but not being loud enough to necessarily be heard. I mean, there's something so artistic about that you can't just find that. You have to make it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, big shout out to JoJo. He's in chat right now. Did a phenomenal job. And he also has his own video on his own channel. One sec.
Big JoJo.
Yes. Yeah.
Shout outs to
I should have
Big
expected that's
JoJo.
what would happen. Hang on.
Just judge.
I am on the wrong playlist. Hang on. Or on the wrong channel. Hang on. If I go here, and then I go here, booyah. All the tracks, and JoJo's at the very end. And here you can find all of them. And he's even
There it
titled
is.
all of them.
That's really
yeah,
cool.
go give him
watch
some
it,
love.
guys.
All right, I'm gonna turn on the normal music. But yeah, I'm glad we got to touch on the music because that was so important, so crucial to the video. Man, all right. Maybe we could tackle 1 or 2 more questions because we're getting pretty close to the end here. Been yapping a lot today. Oh.
Which is blabbering.
A little bit. A little bit. Let's see.
A lot of these questions have been answered already, so.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Well, do you guys have any questions about it? About the collab?
So your next collab, you don't think it's going to be on the scale of rock, paper, scissors? Is that something you're staying away from? Are you going to try to simplify?
I think I'm looking to do 3 different styles of collabs going forward. There's going to be the high effort ones, which are like RPS and Stuntman 3. There's the medium effort ones that are like Dojo's Got Talent and the Stone collab, where they still take a lot of effort, but I can knock them out within like 2 months. And then there's the low effort collabs, which are like, I had to pull them up on my channel, but Loonstar has been a part of a lot of them, if not all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
they're very fun. There's some of my favorite videos on my channel.
Like the irony collab.
Yeah, the irony collab. There's, okay, hear me out, chat. Don't get mad. I have an AI collab.
Oh, why'd you use AI? Why'd you use AI?
Here we go. He said the word.
Oh my god. Please flame him, chat.
Hang on,
Please
hang on.
flame
I'm trying to find it. I'm trying to find it. No, it's,
I
it's,
won't be
it's
sinner
funny.
no
It's
more.
really funny. It's one of my favorite videos on my channel. It's so underrated.
No, it's not funny because it's AI. 10 trillion gallons are
No.
wasted while making
So
this collaboration.
This was before generative AI was genuinely a concern. And I had seen videos of people using early 11 Labs content where I'll let myself explain it.
Me and my friends wrote a crazy story and ran it through ChatGPT. I created an AI voice of myself to read it out loud. Enjoy!
So that's my AI voice.
Hatena?
Yeah, it reads out.
AI
Well,
Hatena?
it's 11 Labs impression of me, I guess. But it's really
Oh my
terrible, and there's so many fun jokes in this that I love. Hang on, I need to show
Wait, people
Undermine's
just animated
part.
this
Wait,
as a
hang on.
collab?
Yeah.
Parade!
listen to this.
It turns out that he sent some juicy memes and saw them as the perfect target for his meme, Collab 3. But the bystanders were not about to let him have his way. A fierce battle ensued with the destroyer meeting his untimely demise, leaving only one casualty, the meme destroyer himself.
Oh my
They were off
gosh.
to their.
But I love
Okay.
collabs like this. They're so funny.
Okay, you know what's like? You know what's really sad though? You know what's really sad though?
What?
There are videos just like this on the internet, just like unironically for children. So sad to see.
Yeah, but I mean, this is intended to just be a fun, quick little collab to shit out because me and my friends find it funny, and I want to do more of those. But I still need to build a reputation with a larger audience, saying that you can still expect high quality stuff. So maybe not too many of these, but every once in a while, like, because like this
After
scene
surviving
here,
this aftermath
this
or
is so
something,
funny.
they
Oh,
some
wait.
question
I mean-
goes to Burger King.
Yeah, I mean this is
Well,
on the same level
sees-
of good, like the
The
collab.
Burger
collab
King's
games.
was
It's just
convinced.
What the?
God, I'm sorry. And then I think where Jackie made a part as well. It's so funny.
Yes.
Oh, and Stealth made an entry.
And started dancing to the
Stealth?
So random.
A crowd formed around them, and even the Burger King employees joined in on the party. Everyone
Okay,
was
who
happy
wrote
that
this
no
script
kid-
though?
We all
Okay,
did,
so how?
really did.
Yeah. we, I think what happened was we would write a script, and then we'd give the last sentence to someone else, and they would continue it, and then they'd give the last sentence to someone else, and then we filtered it through ChatGPT to ruin it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but that was 2023, just for context. I wouldn't do this again today, especially now knowing how harmful ChatGPT is to our environment and data centers and all that. But it's stuff like this that I want to do as low-effort collabs, because they're so funny. But anywho, yeah, that's what you can expect from me going forward, I suppose. But let me look up hashtag Dojocast and see if there's anything that we can show before wrapping things up here. Oh, yeah, I saw this one today. Hang on. By Amy Puff.
What is this?
They did a video of you guys in the back.
What is this?
Oh, wait.
Oh, my.
Oh, this is the pool
Yeah,
rooms,
the
I
pool
think.
rooms.
That's so cool.
That's cute.
Dude, this is awesome. I've been seeing a lot of their art being posted. Their art style's so awesome. I love it.
Yes. So yeah, they also did that. I don't know. This is from the phone episode. Oh,
Yes.
Mateus Silva did this. I'm not gonna play the audio because I'm sure it's copyrighted. But they did this like they took
That's so big.
they
Yeah.
took a musical segment from The Amazing World of Gumball, and then animated Dojo characters from it.
Oh, that's cool.
That's cool.
Oh my gosh. That's
Very
so
good.
fun.
Like, everyone's here.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Endo.
That's
Oh my
me.
God, it's
That's
okay.
me. That's me.
What the heck? Teleport here.
Yeah. Hey, there you are.
Hey!
Yep.
That is so
Shout out
random.
Mateus Silva. You did a good job.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well, effort
Oh, I
in
don't
that.
know if we saw this one, but this one's pretty good.
Ooh, it's
Oh,
like
this is
on
from the
top.
episode.
Magma.
Oh, was it? Okay. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
from
that's good.
Symbol or at 7110 LobMe's 59587. Rolls right off the
I'll
top.
remember
Beautiful.
I'll remember
Yes.
that. I'll remember that.
Okay, well, I hope that this episode was insightful for you all. I still plan on writing a much more in-depth blog post on the dojo that you'll eventually see, maybe within a week or two. And I hope that will be more informative to some of you who are looking to do something similar to what I've done here, and you're able to take my lessons from it. And or maybe you just find it interesting. Something like that. But yeah, Stone, do you want to see us out? Oh, wait. Sorry.
Yeah.
You can't do that yet. We have things to announce.
Wait, hold on.
We were supposed to announce these in the beginning, and then we failed. So obviously RPS is out. I don't remember if I actually pasted a link in the description. I might have forgotten. No, I did. Gilded Guy also just released his Gilded Duels, the second event. That happened today, so you can take a look at the description. It'll take you to a website where you can see everyone's submissions for that. Steel has an animation releasing tomorrow. From what I've heard, it is great. Yeah, from what I've heard, it looks amazing. I haven't seen anything myself. I will be there. The link for that is also in the description. And then Stairs 3 collab from Sulfur Animations is also releasing in 1 week on August 1st.
Oh
So,
my god.
Yeah, we eating good, dude. We
Yeah.
eating good.
There's
I
a
mean,
lot happening.
Yeah, boy.
yeah,
There is
recently.
a lot
I
happening.
can't wait for the Dojo Awards to see what all we have, because there's a lot.
Yo,
happening.
I need to get on that ASAP because I wanna finish something to get maybe an award.
I don't know if I'm going to submit this for collabs because it feels a little unfair, but we'll see.
Nah, you should.
We'll see. All right. Well, now Stone, you can send us off.
All right, guys, you know what to do, man. You got to leave a comment on something you'd like to remember about today's episode. We had a long episode today about collabs. There's a lot of really good information if you're looking to do something like Hatena has done, whether it's this collab or many others. So please leave a comment below. I'm going to leave the tab open, and I'm going to be reading them just like I do every week. And we'll see you next week, same time, okay?
Yeah.
Bye!
And I'll be there.
Yes.
I'll be there this time.
Yeah!
Yes, I
You sure about that? You're not gonna run away, guys.